But it's not just about what they learn in the classroom. At academia, we believe in the power of mentorship and community. The mentorship opportunities at academia are invaluable. Having someone who has been where you are and can guide you along the way is truly priceless. And our efforts don't stop at graduation. We are committed to helping our students succeed in the real world. Whether that means securing internships, landing their dream job, or even starting their own businesses. Academia isn't just an institution, it is a movement. A movement dedicated to empowering African talents and transforming them into global leaders.
Hi, I am Yusuf. I am an electrical engineer and also a student. And I am currently taking the course Product Design, also known as UI UX Design with Academia. And I can tell you the classes have been so wonderful. It's been top notch, You get to interact with your mentors, you ask questions, and the classes have been fun, trust me.
So, hello everyone. My name is Oluwadam Ayinde. I'm a product designer at Academia. I started this journey some few weeks, even though I was skeptical and scared about how do I go about it. But to my greatest surprise, the first week and the second week, we are taught how to build an hero section, add buttons, change color, do so many things. And I think the second week or third week, we are asked to create a Piggyverse site with 3 sections, and which I did. It was as in I didn't believe I could. I could, but I did it, and I'm so elated. I'm finding this very, very interesting, and all glory or courtesy of Academia Institute. I can boldly tell you that Academia is one institute that you can bank on, because the lecture from the mentors is so easy. It's so easy to understand whatever they are teaching you. Is so easy, and I can tell you that if you are looking to launch a career in the tech, you can register with Academia for product management, product marketing, product design, which I'm currently doing at the moment. And I can tell you that before the end of this training, oh my God.
Hi everyone, my name is Obina Williams Eke. I'm an architect. I'm currently taking a course with Academia Institute Product Design, and so far so good. It has been an amazing moment with the tutor. His choice of words and illustrations are exquisite.
Hi, good evening. My name is Ayolua, and I'm a travel consultant and also a real estate consultant. I'm currently taking the product management course with Academia, and so far the classes have been super great. It's been interactive, from the anchor to my fellow students in the class. It's been an amazing, I think 3 weeks now, or 4 weeks. It's been an amazing 3 weeks, with loads of assignments, and trust me, the assignments actually helps me. It has widened my knowledge and also giving me more insight about product management. And lastly, I would recommend Academia over and over again. So this is an institute that you should sign up with if you are looking into transitioning to tech. Yes, thank you.
Hi, my name is Joshua. I'm a singer-songwriter. I recently started a course in product design with Academia, and the experience has been really, really amazing, to my surprise, because I've always thought of product design or tech to be very, very hard and not for me. But Academia have made it so simple and easy for me. I really thank God for them. And also, I want to use the opportunity to recommend Academia to you. I'm not just hyping them. They're actually very, very good. Their tutor is amazing, simplify everything for you, you understand. And also they are very patient with you, with the discounts, with the payments plan and everything.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm so excited to be here today. If you're excited, let me see your emojis. Let me see your comments in the chat section. Let me know if you're excited to be here as well. It's going to be an amazing session today. The person who's going to be taking us on this class is someone who I've worked with for a long time, and someone who is very experienced. He has worked with different brands, international brands, local international brands. He has trained and mentored people who are looking to explore a career in the tech space. So, and I can't really wait for us to have him on board. So today is one of our free masterclass. So we offer free masterclass within monthly basis, and these classes are basically to give back to the community, basically to help those who are looking to understand exactly what it means to get to a career in tech, or basically to help you build some soft skills to improve on your current skill. So I'm going to be walking you through, before we get into that particular section, I'm going to walk you through what academia really is, because I know that we have new faces here, or new names. I'm not seeing your faces, so okay, I'm seeing some faces. So I know we have new people here. So I'm going to share my screen, and so that we can all be on the same page, and you can have clarity on what um, academia really is. Sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, let me share my screen now. Okay. Okay, so just like you heard on the video, right, that was played, academia is our focus is to nurture investment-worthy tech talents and future founders. So we believe that every single person is a potential founder, right? So as long as you have the right skills and the right set of people around you and mentors around you, there is nothing that you literally cannot do. So you can own one of the biggest tech startup in the next few years, in a few years from now, and we are focused on helping you achieve that goal. If that is your goal, we are focused on helping you achieve that goal. And if your goal is also to be one of the biggest tech professional, be it in the design, marketing, management, or dev skills, we are also your partner for that. So we have a series of courses that we offer. So this is just going to be a short one, so that you can get clarity on what our programs are. So our programs, we have 8 programs. So some of them are seeing some of the new programs, and there are some things that some of them might be hearing for the first time. So we've been doing a lot of work, and we've been trying to fine tune our programs to ensure that it covers what people are really looking out for. So we've gotten a lot of requests for some of these courses, and that is why we actually introduced them. So, but they are not out there yet. So we're not in public yet. We haven't announced it. So this is basically the first set of people to actually hear about this on this call. So we have product design for beginners, product management, product marketing, and we also have data analytics, business analytics, cybersecurity, and also full stack web development. If you're looking to become a full stack developer, or you basically don't understand what it means to have what front end or back end means, and you want to understand which particular one you would want to go for, you can explore our full stack web development course. I'll be explaining further into that as we go on. And we also have project management. And some people will be like, what is the difference between product management and project management? Well, there is a big difference between both courses. And we would also be having some classes, and you can also check our social media platforms.
I think we recently posted the difference between product management and project management on our page as well. And you can always ask questions on in our community, in our WhatsApp group. And if you have any question concerning a particular program or a particular course, we are available to provide clarity on that, especially for those who are asking. And I know some people also ask, what is the difference between product marketing and digital marketing? So we are, like I said, you have access to every single member of the team. You can reach out to any of the admins, or you just put your comments in the section in the community, and we would answer all of your questions. And our course structure is that we have a duration of 12 weeks. So all our courses are now for 12 weeks, and strictly virtual. We have old weekly lectures and hands-on exercises. So it means that you're not just going to be reading, and you're not going to be, attending classes or be watching a particular video, recorded video, right? You have people who would be training you, and you have hands-on exercises, So I'm sure you heard in the video when Ayo mentioned that there was a lot of assignments. So, and those are assignments that actually help you, get better and help you understand your strengths and even help us understand how to help you. So there are going to be assignments that would basically help that you can use to test your knowledge. And then when we see that, there are places where you still need to work on, then we can provide you with adequate supports. And also the hands-on exercise, even the mentors would also be creating things live, right? Even from our designers, from the pro design reviews as well, so that a lot of people were talking about the designs that we're able to make, and that was because the mentors are actually designing these things live for you. So you're seeing what they are doing. They're not just telling you theories, right? You're seeing exactly what they're doing. Same thing for the marketing and other courses as well. Your mentors are creating the product requirements on the spot. They are creating the go-to-market strategy on the spot, so that you are able to understand exactly. And when you want to do it yourself, you know exactly what to do. And you also have access to the recordings of the classes, so that in case there's something you want to go back to, you can always go back to them. And then there is project. You would also work on project at the end of the courses. You're going to work on projects that will be graded by mentors within the program, and mentors and external mentors as well. So that means that you're going to be working on real life products and all. So that is basically that. So to provide you a little bit more context into our programs, so we have the product management course that basically allows you to, we have, like I mentioned, is 12 weeks. So these are the courses that you can learn. If you need access to our brochures, you can always ask for it as well, and we'll provide you with that. So you have, for the product management course, you have access, you learn learn how to create user research, how to conduct market analysis, how to come up with product roadmaps, how to come up with product strategy, design and MVP, come up with product launch strategies, product marketing as well. You're learning how to create a go-to-market strategy, learning how to design an effective positioning message, and you also be able to create personas as well. And for our product design classes as well, which is one exciting class for me, because I see a lot of things that they're doing, and as well as the product management, a lot of things that they are doing. Today we had a class and I saw what the product management team are working on, and I was filled with so much excitement, as well as the product design team as well. So creating user flows, creating landing pages and all of those, and it's been an exciting one. And you will have opportunity to not just design, you will have opportunity to also understand what UX really means, conduct research, and understand what design systems and all of those collaboration aspect of design really entails. And then we have a data analytics course as well that allows you to, you learn how to collect and clean data. You understand every single thing concerning data analytics, basic data analysis techniques. You understand how to use Excel to, create data visualization, how to use Python and Power BI, and a lot of other tools to, visualize, create data visualization, and analyze, clean and analyze data as well. And then to the full stack developer, those are looking to learn full stack development. Like I mentioned before, that if you're not certain about, because in development there are people who are focused on front-end development, There are people who are focused on backend development, right? But there are also the full stack developers, those who have a good understanding about the front end and the back end. I mean that they can build a product from scratch by themselves, right? So, but front end developer. So if you are looking to exploring a career in that field, this is the right course for you. And even if you don't have clarity on whether you want to be a full stack developer or a backend or a front-end developer, you can take the full stack web development course, because that would give you insight into what front-end development and back-end development is. And you also learn all the languages and the concepts that's involved. And you also carry out hands-on practice to test your skills. And then when you realize that, okay, you enjoy working on front-end, then you can explore front-end more. You enjoy working on back-end, and you can explore back-end further. And then we also have the cybersecurity course that you can learn how to, understand the network security fundamentals, understand identity and access management, and also basic of incident response. And the capstone project is something that I'm really excited about as well. And I'm also excited about the mentor for that course as well. So, and then we have the business analytics course. You're also going to learn how to, you're also going to learn how to create descriptive analysis. You also learn how to create descriptive analysis, collect and clean data, come up with predictive analytics and market research. You also learn how to use some other tools like Excel and some other tools to also create visualization of your data, and also clean your data as well. And then there's project management. You can see that it's really clear that the curriculum or the structure, the learning structure for project management is quite different from that of product management. That's the lesson that these are two different fields, right? For project management, you're learning team management, you're learning risk management. All of these have subcategories, right? So, but these are just a summary of what it looks like and what our programs look like. So from product development to from product design to project management, cybersecurity, business analytics, data analytics. You have the opportunity to learn directly from expert mentors and professionals with over 8 years of experience in the field, and it is something that you don't want to miss out on. So if you're looking to transition into tech fully and you have a particular person, and even if you do not have clarity on what particular course you're looking to explore, you can always ask us questions, and we are willing and able to guide you through. We can schedule a session with our education counselors, and they can provide you clarity on what particular course is fit for you, for the role, for your current career path, or for the skills that you currently have. So even if you're unsure, that's also fine, right? So we can always help you through that. We've helped a lot of people, and definitely would be happy to help you through it. And all of these courses comes with certification, right? You get certificate at the end of the program, and also to the key aspect of it, like based on what the video said, that we prioritize mentorship, we value mentorship and community. So there is a community that you can be a part of, community that is very fun and lively, and also you get 3 months post-training mentorship. It means that after the course, you still have opportunity to reach out to your mentor. You still remain in your class group where you can have conversations with your mentors and your colleagues and build that rapport. And for example, if you get a job, or you get an internship after your program, you see opportunity to ask within the alumni forum, ask your colleagues and your peers, sorry, I have this particular task, or my product manager gave me this particular task, how can I do this? And then we would be able to provide you, your community will provide you with those answers, and your mentors will also provide you with those answers. So that's about that. So if you have any question, you can feel free to drop it in the chat, or drop it within the community, or send any of the admin message, and they would provide you with those answers. So so let's just get it started so that I don't um keep you all from the main purpose of being here. So our mentor is here for today, and his name is Samuel. And like I mentioned before, Samuel is someone that I've worked with, and he's an amazing person. He's a full stack developer, and so he knows both web, into both web and mobile. So for him to WordPress is something that he can. That means you are in the hands of the perfect person to guide you through your learnings today. And I can't wait for us to get started. Hi Samuel, how are you doing?
Oh, hello everyone. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay,
All
can you
right.
hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
so okay, great. So yeah, so we're gonna enter into the class right now, and then Samuel, over to you. You can we can kick off now. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me. So, good evening everyone. So, I don't know. This is weird. This first time I'm doing it without actually having feedback. So, I'm used to
Don't
I'm
worry.
used to having feedback. Yeah. So, if
Yeah, you're
anybody
good.
has any questions while I speak,
Mhm.
you can just put it in the chat. I'll take a look at it as well. So,
Okay.
today's um session is supposed to be on WordPress, if I'm correct. Is that correct, Miss Comfort?
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
how
yes.
long is it supposed to go, so I know how deep I should go?
Okay, so I think the people here are really hungry to learn how to build a simple website using WordPress, because I'm
Yeah.
not sure that everyone here have any knowledge about coding or how to customize the WordPress themes. So that might be a little bit complex because some of them are marketers and some are designers and some of them are entrepreneurs. I just want to learn how they can use WordPress to create a simple website for their businesses or their profession.
All right, got it. Thank you very much. I think I understand now. So good evening everyone again. I think I should just share my screen and go straight into it.
Yes, awesome.
All right. So I'm trying to share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
All right. So basically, WordPress is more or less like a how will I put it? A easy to use tool, a easy to use web tool that is built using PHP. I know I'm going to be speaking a lot of jargons right now, but just bear with me. It's not going to be too technical. So basically, it's like written in a programming language, and it's built for people that don't actually want to learn how to, like, don't want to go too deep into the coding part, but just want to be able to just spin up one or two websites for their personal use. So basically, WordPress is a tool that you install on an hosting device, and you just the installation process of WordPress is very, very easy. So what you are seeing here on this dashboard is an already installed WordPress instance. I don't know if the previous tutor has gotten everybody to this point. But so this is a WordPress instance that has already been installed. If you need more details on how to install a WordPress website, there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube that you can easily follow to get this installation process. And if you need more details, if you need more guidance, I think you can get in touch with your mentor to put you through. So once you have this dashboard, once you get to this dashboard, it's like just imagine that you are starting on a blank sheet with your drawing board. But there are a few things you need to understand about how the web works. Number one is the page layout. There are three different sections of a page. There's the header part of a page, there's the footer of a page, and there's the main body of a page. So the header of a page, basically, that's where all the informations are kept about the page. For example, if you see the upper part of this screen here, you can see all these slide details that are popping up. All this information here, including this dashboard name, this page name. If I click something else, you see that it will change. This name here changes. All this information here are stored in the header of a page. And so if you are building your own WordPress website, when you have plugins later, I'll talk about plugins later. But when you have plugins that will be able to do these things, just note that, okay, that's what the plugin is doing. And then the main content of a page, that's the body of a page. That's everything you see here. Like every aspect of the page. Let me just quickly open Chrome Dev to nobody should get scared. This is just a simple description of it. So this is what I'm saying here. If you look closely here, I don't know if I'm zoomed in enough. So if you look closely here, this is an inspection of this page. And this page is, you can see the HTML file of this page. So the HTML file of the page is the overall window of this page. And then look at the header here. And this is where all the information about this page is contained. You can see all these jargons that is written here. Don't worry, if you want to learn how to code, you will eventually understand these things. Then the main body of the page, that's where you can see it's highlighting the sections here that's in the body of the page. That's why it's highlighting it here. So that's how WordPress basically works. That's how web basically works. And then the footer of a page, most pages don't need a footer, but in cases where you need to do some advanced things, you can add some additional information into the footer of a page. But basically, the footer of a page is used to load in additional scripts into your web page, or just to do some minor descriptions to your page. That's what you put in your footer, or to style it if you are doing the coding part of it. But let's just focus on the simple parts now. So this, from your dashboard, from your WordPress dashboard, you are greeted with this screen, depending on the host, because the installation process, you have to pick a host before you actually install this WordPress website. There are other ways to get WordPress websites running on your local machine before you actually use an online host, but those methods are a little bit more technical. So just stick to the simple parts. Get a host, click on the button, get your WordPress website up and running. Then you'll be able to log into the dashboard. They will give you a credential that you'll be able to access this dashboard. It's not going to look exactly like this, mind you. It's going to look similar to this. All these components here on this side, this is what we call the sidebar here for the dashboard. And all these components here are going to be mostly similar in most WordPress instances and most WordPress versions. So from here, you'll be able to see a link here that automatically tells you to view your website, because this page has been used before by a previous tutor to view these minor things here. So that's why you have this hello world and all these contents here. So you'll be able to, we eventually modify these things later during the course of this session. But basically, that's how you get to view your website. You can come, there are other ways, but the simplest way, just come here to Site Assistant, then click on View Sites to view your website. It will open it in a new tab. Another, the second thing here is the dashboard. So basically, here is where you have an overview of your entire WordPress instance. So it's going to get more complex than this. The more things you add to your WordPress instance. So you can see these additional spaces here where it's saying drag and drop boxes here. Those are for adding content to your WordPress instances, or to add custom elements or plugins or themes or whatever it is that you need to add to your WordPress instance. But I'm not going to dwell on that much. Where is the places that are important for you as a beginner are under appearance first. Under appearance. Now, when you get to appearance, you will see all these themes. Most times, you may not see as much as this. You might just see just one or two themes. But basically, these themes are just like themes on your phone, where you change. Now, when Android users, you understand when you say themes. Don't mind iPhone users. They don't know what they don't know what they are doing. I don't know what they are doing with iPhones. So you can customize the look of your website in just one button if you have custom themes that you have. But basically, you can always purchase additional themes. If you go here, add new theme, if you see, if I click on add new themes, it will take me to the marketplace. Now, this is the marketplace. You can get to the marketplace in other instances as well when you want to get plugins or other items. But for now, just make it simple. So this is the marketplace for themes. And you can see this theme is already installed. This theme is already installed. and so on and so forth. So if you want to, like, if you don't even need to like build your own website yourself, like you don't need to even do the drag and drop for your own website. If you see a theme that you like and it's free, you can just as easily install it. You click on install, it's going to start installing it on your WordPress instance. Boom, and just like that, it has been installed. You can activate it. If you click on activate, and your theme is ready to use on your website. You can just do a little bit of additional editing. What's the name of the theme I just added? I think it's Astra. Yeah, this is it. So Astra is the active theme now. So if I go back to my website, let me not use shortcuts. Let me go back the way I said you should go back. So go back to site assistance. Then if you click on view site, it's supposed to load in the theme. You can see it's different from what we had before. And also ignore this content. This content was you can see that the styling and everything of this content is exactly the same content you saw before, but because we are using a different theme now on our WordPress instance, that's why that content looks different now. That's why it looks styled now. So another thing to take note of is when you are changing themes, I don't want to get too technical, but basically there are 3 items that are inside a theme pack. There's the HTML content of the theme, there's the CSS content of the theme, and there's also the JavaScript content of the theme. So, and those 3 things are what determine what your website is going to look like, how it's going to be styled, the plugins that you're going to install, how they will interact with your website. Some themes come with some additional JavaScript files that will customize the way your website behaves, like control animations and things like that. And the way, like some website have some amazing loading animations. Those are done by some of the JavaScript files that come with the themes. And some of the themes also come with their own custom CSS files that style the website in different ways. If I am to change this theme now, it's actually going to change the way it's displayed here, because their new type of styling is going to be applied to this page. So if I go back here again and click on, let's say, this theme, but normally I'm not supposed to just click on the theme like that. You're supposed to first of all preview it. don't do it the way I do. I like to live on the edge. So you're supposed to preview it like this to see what it's going to look like. Okay, then you look at it. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. Now, before I don't want to get right into the editing part yet, but basically this preview also is basically also the editing page. You can see that the items here on this on the sidebar have changed. You can see we can add styles here. We can add additional pages. We can add templates, additional templates. We can add and these templates actually are like they are more or less like pre-built sections. You can see this is a 404 page template. This is an index page template. This is a blog home template. And in them, you can actually add them. You can see, remember what I said the other time, it has its own custom headers that you can add to the page. It has its own custom footers that you can add to the page as well. Let me quickly go through some other things that are important before you start building on WordPress. So I've mentioned that the most place you are going to be spending your time is inside this folder here, this appearance folder. If you are not modifying the theme, then you probably be choosing a pattern, or you will be customizing a theme, or you'll be choosing some widgets. Now, widgets in a layman terms, so widgets are like kind of sections of a page that do some specific things, like carousels. You see some websites that have some section of the page, you have some beautiful carousels that does some things, or you have some websites have some section of it that has like some animations that displays that beautifies the website. So basically those are gotten from different widgets, and you can also get your widgets here too on WordPress. Everything on WordPress there's a third-party tool for everything. It means that you can always get the free items. Let me just keep all of this. You can get the free items that are already pre-built, or you can like drag and drop and build your own, design your own the way you want it to look. So basically this is where you add widgets to the to your website. I'm not going to go into too much details now because I need to cover other sections of this page. So now the theme file editor, you most likely would not need to come here because this is when maybe you have a little bit of experience writing code. Then you can actually come here and actually modify the code. These are the that are generated for you from WordPress itself. So if you don't, if you're not an advanced user, just don't bother with this side of WordPress. Just leave it alone. Now, another part of WordPress that is very important that comes pre-built with all WordPress installation is plugins. Now, in plugins, basically just almost the same as themes. There are plugins to do almost everything right now in WordPress. Like the marketplace is so filled with a lot of plugins that you can buy and install into your website. If you want to do, let's say, Paystack, I've not checked this before. I'm just guessing now. Let's see if there's a Paystack plugin. Paystack plugin. I'm just guessing. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. There isn't. There isn't. But I'm very, very sure it's because it's not in this marketplace right now. I'm very, very sure when you go to other websites or Paystack's website themselves, they will have the plugin available for you to use in your WordPress website, and it's going to be very, very easy to, okay. I think I just click on the marketplace. I wasn't on the marketplace. I was in, you see my error now. Please take note of that. I was in installed plugins. I was searching for it in install plugins, but now I'm in the add new plugins. This is the marketplace for plugins. Please, that was a mistake. So this is where I should have searched Paystack. There's probably a plugin for it. Let us search. You can see there's so many plugins for it. You can see this plugin is by Tumbo Sunwanyila, and you can read more details about the plugin if you are not sure. If you want to make sure that the payment doesn't go to Tumbo Sunwanyila, to make sure that the payment will actually go to your own Paystack account. So you can install this plugin as well. Let's just install it for experimental purposes. Just like that, by click of the button, you are installing it. It has been installed. So we'll get to using plugins later. Now, this is also the same way we add for appearance, where we add the editor. This is also the plugins file editor. Maybe you don't trust the plugin, or the plugin is not doing what you want to do exactly the way you want to do it. So you can come here also to the plugin file and edit it. Also, let me quickly mention something that some people might not pick up on. If you actually want to edit the files, like if you are feeling like a daredevil, these are the files here on the right. So the middle section here is actually the code. You can see it's written in PHP. That's the ASCII met.php file. And then you can just click on another file. Maybe the payment file is what you don't like or something. You can come here, look at the code. If you understand what you are looking at, then you can make modifications as you see fit. And this section here is the views. Now, let me just quickly mention another thing that's so that you understand. WordPress follows a specific pattern of MVC. I know you. I don't know what MVC means in business world, but when we say MVC in the coding world, it means the model view controller method. Like, so basically, the code is going to be split into three parts: the model, the view, and the controller. Where the model is basically going to be interacting with your database, the view is going to be displaying the items on the website, on the page, and the controllers, they are the ones that are going to be performing the actions, like doing computations. So most WordPress websites follow this pattern of model view controller, so that's why you have some files here called inside a folder called views. And if you open any of these files, you'll notice HTML codes inside. That's why you have all the code that looks like HTML here, and not you can see it looks like HTML. You can see divs and class names here. So that's why. And you can see this. Remember what I said before. See the title.php here. Let's say you want to modify the title. You can see this is where the title is being imputed into that specific plugin. So that's an overview of what plugins are. Then for users, this one is more or less like when you have if your website is more or less like uh, a fully fledged website where you have people logging in, and you have maybe you want to set up a system where you can monitor your users that are logged in. But most of you might not need to do this, but basically you can have your users on like your users that are on your team log into your dashboard and also modify for you. Like you can, maybe you need somebody as an help, as an additional hand to help you work on your website. You can add them to this on this page for the dashboard and check profiles. And there are also other plugins that allow you to add this user option here. Is going to be so complex to the point that you now have a I don't know the correct term to use here, but basically you have options to now monitor the users. If your website is like a shopping website, is like a shopping site, maybe you've done this to the point that it's now a shopping site with plugins and themes, and you now want to monitor the users, the number of users you have and all of that. So there are plugins that you can install that will have additional pages here. Please don't confuse that users plugin with this one that comes with WordPress. This one is for the dashboard that controls your website. The other plugins will also probably just call it users for your platform and also would monitor those users too. So it will be something similar, but make sure that you differentiate between the two of them. Now, another part, remember the first part I said that it's very important to you that you are going to want to touch first is appearance, where you modify your theme. The second one is the plugins, where you install the plugins that you need for your website if you need any. And also you can the same just as you can go to the store to add more themes, you can also go to the store and add more plugins to your website. Remember, all these plugins and themes that I'm adding, it's not yet visible on the website yet. So I think that will be in another class. But this class is just to show you an overview of what of the tools that you have access to. Now, speaking of tools, pun not intended, but it was a weird coincidence. So there's also an option for tools. Now, this tool option is more or less like a if you want to do additional things, like let's say you have developers build something for you and you want to like you now made it because obviously you tell the developer that okay, I'm building I already have a WordPress website. I want you to build me like a plugin or a theme or something that is going to be compatible with my WordPress website, and they are going to follow the same pattern of the MVC pattern of building a website where there will be the model, there will be the views, and there will be the controllers. And then now you now want to add that plugin or tool or whatever it is that person built for you into your website. So most likely what they will send to you is a zip file that you will now upload here. That's why you have the import button here. So here you can upload a lot of install a lot of tools. Right now it's very scanty because nothing is on it. Remember, this is just a fresh thing, but this is where you start adding tools to your website that are not there originally, that are custom tools. You see the tools here. Then if you also want to export the tools, remember these tools can also tools are like plugins too, remember, that you can also install through the marketplace. And there's some of those tools you can actually export it and use it in another WordPress instance, because some of those tools actually cost money. And you can see here you can export you can choose what to export: all content, the posts, the pages, and the media. We are going to get to these three things later, but just so that you can import and export these items here. And site else is basically for checking security of your website, to check the performance of your website. There are other ways, there are more advanced ways to do it, but WordPress makes it very easy for everyone to just check the performance of their website using this page. The others, you might not need this to create a website. Then the next thing you need to pay attention to is these settings. Now, this settings part is basically for you to make your life easier. So you can, if you look through all the the settings here that you can modify. Remember, it's telling you the site title. Remember, that's the title of your website. That's what we made as the title of your website. Then the tagline, that's the tag for the website itself. When you hover over it like this, you will see it. I hope you guys can see what I'm looking at. The tag. You can see the nutrition investment dot dot dot. Yeah. So that's what this tagline does. And then the site icon, this tiny favicon here is what the site icon is. So if you want to change your site icon, this is where you change it. Then URL. This is a more advanced thing because you already be conversant with this, the URL, the website URL. If you are if we had gone through the installation process, because this is an option that you would have set before you even get to this point, because website WordPress needs to be hosted on a specific website. But in a case where you magically were able to install WordPress locally on your machine, like on your laptops, and it's running on your local host, this URL will be pointing to local host. So there are other ways that you can modify the way this URL will point to a specific web address when you upload it to an host, like an online host. Other settings here, these are just admin email and whatever. So other settings here, you can add people to your website. I'm not going to touch that. I don't want you people to come and steal our website here. But basically, the remaining things here are the date format and the time format. You can set it, you can change it. So when you're using plugins or themes that have date and time displayed on it, it's going to follow this format. And also, even on the dashboard here itself. And there's also something called login. When you're logging things, when WordPress is logging traffic that is hitting the website, is going to use this same format. So basically, this date and time format is going to be used everywhere in your application. When I say application, I mean your website. So one more thing I need to mention is media settings. So this is where you set uh basically the settings for your media. I don't think I need to explain too much about that. So you can set the size here, the max size, or if you want to reduce this, if you think it's too small, you can see the thumbnail sizes, the medium sizes, and the large sizes, or you can basically just upload files. Um, uh, it's for basically uploading files, or for how will I explain this? Like if you want to use images in your website, this is going to help you to it's going to be like it's going to be there in form of a guardrail to prevent you from shooting yourself in the foot. And why are you going to be shooting yourself in the foot? Because everybody wants their website to look very beautiful. They're going to put the most high quality pictures they have on their website. And what they don't know is that when you're now running that security check, one of the tests is going to check for performance of your website, how fast or slow your website loads. And one of the major reasons a lot of website loads very, very slow is because of the image size. When your images are too large, your website tends to load slower because of the let me just say technology. Because a lot of things a lot of things cause your website to run slower and faster, but image is one of the biggest reasons websites run slow, especially if you have customers that don't have very good internet and they're loading your website. And imagine if your website has a lot of images and no image is loading, and the first 30 seconds the image is just loading little by little, like frame by frame. It doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't like that. So this is where you put guardrails on it to make sure that your large images are not more than this size, your medium images are not more than this size, and your thumbnails are not more than this size. And I think some plugins would also help you convert when you upload an image that you want to use on your website. There are some plugins, I don't know the exact name, but there are some plugins that will help you convert the image from that size that you are uploading to the specific size that you actually need to use on your web page. Then another thing is permalinks. So basically, WordPress also offers you the ability to create your own permalinks. And what are permalinks? They are basically like links that are like, how will I explain this? So when you have links that do specific things for you, like your website, you remember that time when you say you know, I'm very sure a lot of people have watched videos on YouTube and they'll say use my promo code something something, go to this website slash then their YouTube channel name. So that link there, that's routes there that are giving you is their own kind of permalink for that website. So you can specify the patterns of your permalink here. You can see the structure here. You can specify the patterns of how you want to use your permalinks, and you can also specify the structure you want to use. You can use it the way you want to do it, so that depending on the content you want to display on your website, you can structure it here. There are other ways to do it. There are other plugins that offer you more advanced options, but this comes pre-built into WordPress, so you can just use it. It's free. And optionally, you can add category and base tags here and save changes. I don't need to add anything right now, but basically you can add additional things here. You can do custom structures here to add permalinks here to get to specific routes, to get specific informations out of your website. Right now, this one just takes in date samples and takes and returns the post. Basically, that's what this one just does. But you can do more advanced things with your permalinks. And Lightspeed cache is another thing I need to mention. I know caching, when you start talking about caching, a lot of people will tune out, but basically caching will save you a lot, especially when it comes to cost. Because if you are running it on a host that charges you for compute, when I'm saying compute now, I mean this website is going to be running on a host machine somewhere. And if those people are charging you based on how much processes your instance, that's your website, is running, it will be a huge advantage for you to turn on caching. Even if it's not this built-in caching that comes with WordPress, there are other caching plugins that you can also use that will cache your website. And basically what caching does is that if somebody has visited your, let's say 200 people visited your website and they check this same thing, so what caching does is that instead of your website to do all the work again to get all that information again, let's say it has some information in the database, it has some information from an image somewhere that it needs to display, and so many things that it needs to come together to display the website to you. So what caching does is basically it tells the server to memorize what people want the most, and it keeps it in memory. So that when somebody else comes and say, okay, I need to look at this specific thing again, that's 200 people just checked for, immediately to just say, oh, I already know that thing, and send that thing back to the person you are using. So that's what caching does basically. So instead of the website to go through the process again of fetching all the pages or fetching all the plugins that is required, or images that are required to load that page, it already has it stored in memory, so it's not doing a lot of compute work, and you just return back to the user over the internet. So I've basically done a quick run through of the entire dashboard here. Every other thing there is more advanced things that we will talk about in later sessions. But another thing I need to quickly mention now is, because I intentionally skipped these three. So this post here, basically, it's for if your WordPress, because most people want to have a blog post website. So WordPress decided to make it easy. And this is what a post allows us to add to the website. You can see now where the post comes from. So we can view it here. We can edit it here, and then we can post it. We can save it. I'm not going to do that now. So basically, this is a comment to one of the posts. This is not the post itself, but this is a comment to one of the posts on the WordPress website. So that's basically post here just allows you to manage and maintain posts and content. Let's just say content. I think content is the right word for your website. And then media allows you to add basically images and videos to your website, depending on the kind of WordPress instance you have. Some WordPress instance may not allow you to upload videos right out of the box, depending on where you installed it from, but most of them will. And you can, if don't worry if your WordPress instance doesn't allow you to upload video. Just go to the marketplace and look for a plugin that will allow you to upload video to your WordPress website. So and on that instance here, this is the library, basically all the images we already have installed on the website. And remember, these also images are also linked to the images that we added using the settings page, where you saw me adding I didn't add it, but where you saw that you can change the icon of the page, the favicon of the website, and then adding new medias, just the same way as adding, well, it's slightly different anyways, but it's basically the same way as uploading images to your social media websites. Just drag and drop the image here, whatever image it is. And remember, when we were setting the image sizes in the settings, make sure that your image follow those patterns. If it doesn't, sometimes depending on the plugin you are using, sometimes they will allow it, then they will now convert that image to the respective sizes, or they don't even allow you upload it at all. It will tell you image upload field. Then pages. Now basically pages on websites, when you open a website, the first page you are greeted with is the landing page. Now most websites have multiple pages, and I don't think I need to be explaining what pages are. So this is where you add additional pages to your website. And after adding additional pages, remember, you also have to link those pages together. That will also be a topic that we'll discuss in a later session. But basically, you can come here, add pages, but this is where you view all the pages that you've created. Now you can see that this is the original page that is showing. Sorry. Oh, this is okay because we are not. This theme is not active yet, but this is the sample page that should have been. This was the sample page that was active before I changed it. But you can see that you can edit some of the content of this page right here with the built-in editor. And I hope you guys have noticed that anytime I click on edit on either it's a page or a theme, an editor pops up. The editor that you are seeing right now is actually the built-in WordPress editor that allows you to edit things. You can edit text, you can add images, you can drag and drop items into the website, and you can also delete items in the editor from the page, like if you want to delete some content on the page. But you can also install other plugins. There are other plugins available in the marketplace that allow you to use more advanced editors that are even looking better than this, that will help you do a lot of editing very, very quickly. So I think the next tutor that you are going to have for these sessions is going to go into more details on the specific tools, because they will have every WordPress experts have their own special set of tools that they use, special set of plugins that they install on their websites that allows them to actually build and deploy their website very, very quickly. So this is just a vanilla WordPress installation, and I'm just showing you the ropes. By the time you start doing the in-depth work, they will be showing their own preference tools. Just know that whatever tool they show you is their own preference, and you can always, if you like their tool, you can go ahead with their tool, but you can always, through trial and error, you can always find your own tools that makes you optimal using WordPress. So you can just go back to the dashboard. You can see that where I clicked to go back to the dashboard. So coming back to the dashboard, I think I have covered most of the items here. So now I'll just do a quick let's just do something quick. Go to themes, customize. Just to show you a preamble of what to expect when you want to customize your themes. Remember, there are three things. There are the themes, there are the plugins, and there are the pages. So those three things, you can always edit them using the built-in editor or using a custom editor for WordPress. So this is the home page for the theme that we just installed. And if I was to save this editing now and deploy it to the home page of the website, that is what is going to be showing there. This is the contents that is going to be showing there. So let me just quickly walk you through the editor to see some of the things that you can actually have. I'm not going to post anything I'm not going to save anything, just to, so that I don't scatter anything. So basically, remember when I was telling you about the contents of a website, where to have the header, the footer, and the main body. So basically, having that knowledge in the background, you will understand some of the context of this side menu here. No matter what theme it is, every theme has their own different way of excuse me, every theme has their own different way of doing things, and this theme just does its own thing like this. So you can see here there's a global settings. Most likely is going to be controlling the entire topography of the application. So it means that whatever you do here is going to apply globally to the website. So you can come here to topography. You can see the topography. Basically, topography here means the text topography. Let me quickly explain what that means. This text here and this text here are actually two different sizes. If you have noticed, I don't know, maybe some people did not notice. And you also notice that it's also different from this text here, the sizes and the fonts and the size and the color. The reason for that is because of this topography. So you should always have, when designing your website, it's always good to have good and clean topography for your website, where you have the main headers larger than the content of the page. Just imagine if the content of the page is now larger than the title of that section, it will look weird, wouldn't it? So that's why we have topography. So when using, remember, most themes are going to be similar in the same ways. So they will also have their own ways of handling text and text sizes and topography. So you can see that on this page here, you have different texts. I said different texts. Jesus Christ, Oyibo. English will not kill us in this country. Different text sizes and styling. So from the topography here, you can actually always select what text sizes you want. And then if you come down here, you can see the body font. Remember, always look at what it's telling you. This is the heading, the body font family. This is a body font family. This is another heading. This is another heading. So you can pick whatever heading you want. And remember, these are the presets here. You can always make additional modifications to them. So these are heading fonts here. So heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, you can modify it. You can see it inherits the font family from the preset font family. Now, let me quickly talk about hierarchy of things. So when you see this inherit here, it means that whatever font you've set higher up in the hierarchy, because there are hierarchies to how websites work. Whatever fonts you set in the hierarchy, in the upper hierarchy, let's say in the base font, let's see here, yeah, you can see this is where the font was set. The font family was set here as Inter. If I change it to something else, it would change the font. Now, if I now come here, you can see it's changing. If I now come here to H1, because this is higher up in the hierarchy than H1. If I come here, this inherits basically is saying that I'm inheriting the font from the higher up in the hierarchy. So if I want to make the entire page or all the fonts hierarchies that I want to build for this website to use the same font family without me necessarily setting it in every single instance that I need to do, I can just say use inherit, and that's what it's doing here. And font weight also inherit, but I can modify it. Let's see if I can modify this to something obvious. Let's see, area. You can see the H1 tag. If you notice, the H1 tag here changed. Let me change this to something else again. It's not that obvious. Georgia. You can see. Did you notice that change? So now you see that it's Georgia here. Let me take it back to inherit. Just memorize what the font looks like. I've taken it back to inherit. Now let me go back higher up in the hierarchy and change it here to what font did I use? I think I used Georgia. G E. Yep. This is it. Now every font in this page is going to be using Georgia that uses inherit. Every font in this page that uses inherit is going to be using Georgia. So adding font, this is not using inherit. Let's see, inherit is always at the top. See, automatically it inherits that font. Did you notice the font change now? So basically that's how you make sure that all the fonts, because when you're designing your website, it's always good to pay attention to fonts. Fonts are one of the design patterns that are quite unique that everybody must pay attention. A lot of people don't pay attention to it, but the way your website looks starts from how the font looks. So let's now say you have some section in your website that you want to give specific fonts to. For example, let's say you want to make this part different. First of all, you need to determine where the hierarchy is. I don't know which one this is. I think it's oh, I've not even talked about responsiveness. We'll talk about that later. Let me see. Is this it? I'm not sure this is it. Yep, I'm not sure this is it. Because this was already preset. Let's say I need to add my own section to the page. Then I can now preset the font I want to add to it. But you notice I accidentally click on something here. Basically, I forgot to mention one thing. You also need to know that the people that are going to be visiting your website that you are going to build, most likely they are going to be visiting on devices that are not your own, because you're not going to share everybody your laptop to look at the website that you're building. So the one big joke among developers is that when we deploy an application and it doesn't work, we'll be like, but it was working in my laptop. And that's an inside joke to those people who understand. Meaning that yes, it works in your laptop, it looks good in your laptop. It doesn't mean it's going to look good on everybody's device, because everybody's device is different. We have different screen sizes, different screen resolution, different pixel counts. You see some phones that are having the same screen resolution will have different pixel sizes. So you also need to make sure you pay attention to the responsiveness of your website. And that's where that responsiveness word comes in. Meaning that when you change the way your website looks, it's supposed to adapt to different screen sizes. And that's what this button here helps you to monitor. Now, this one only gives you 3 options. This WordPress button here gives you 3 options. But let me just give you something bonus that is not supposed to. I don't think I'm supposed to be telling you this part. But let me just give you for free the same dev tool I opened the other time. On everybody's keyboard, you can just press F12 if you're on Google Chrome or if you are on Mozilla. But most likely you're using Google Chrome. This is not Google Chrome, this is Google Chromium, but it's still the same thing as Google Chrome. So when you click on F12, in case you can't get this option to show up, this is another easier way to do it. You just right click on anywhere on your website. You see this button here called inspect, and you just click on it. That's the second way to achieve this. Another way to achieve it is to come here to these 3 dotted lines here. You click on it, more tools, developer tools. Then you click on it. It's still going to bring out the same thing. So these are the 3 ways you can achieve this. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because we are talking about responsiveness. If you remember how your website is going to look on different devices. Now, because the people that built this most browsers, notice that when you are building for browsers also occur in different devices, and you need to be able to see what it's going to look like in other devices from your own device. And that's why they set up something like an emulator that emulates other devices. This button here basically shows you what your website will look like on the emulated device, meaning that we are mimicking the screen of different devices. Right now it's on iPhone 12 Pro. We are mimicking what is going to look like on an iPhone 12 Pro. Now, take this with a grain of salt, because there's also a warning if you read the instruction manual for your web browser, which nobody has ever read. I'm very sure of that. It tells you that when you're using this developer tool, always still check on your actual device. Like if you have a phone, still always check on your phone, because sometimes this thing may behave differently. Now, additional way to use this tool is that you can just click on this drop down menu here. You can click on so many. By default, a lot of device come preset into this, so you can see what it looks like on iPhone SE. You can see what it looks like on Pixel 7. You can see what it looks like on Samsung Galaxy X8. You can see the way we are changing the device screen is adapting to different devices different way. Let's use an iPad. I think iPad is usually there. Yes, iPad Pro. This is what it's going to look like on an iPad Pro. So basically, this is a very, very powerful tool that not a lot of people know what that is there. It's already in your browser. So if your WordPress instance doesn't come with it, you can see this one only has three modes, and this one has so many that you can even have a freehand mode. Let's say a freehand mode that you can manually adjust the size of the device to fit whatever screen you want to. You can even make it shorter and longer. So always use this. This is your friend. This developer tool is your friend. Even you don't want to write code, just make sure that you use this tool as often as you can to check the responsiveness of your website when you're designing. So after designing and you're testing and you're looking at it, make sure that you use that tool to check, because not all plugins will have it. It's a bonus. It's not actually supposed to be taught in this course. So this one wants to save. Let's cancel. Yeah, we'll cancel. You are not saving anything. I'm not done with the customization, because there are other things. There's something else I want to talk about. So we've talked about the topography and fonts. Remember, that was under global. So one thing you need to know is, when I was talking about websites, I mentioned something like CSS. So like CSS, basically it stands for cascading style sheets, meaning it's just a programming. It's not really a programming language, but it's basically is everything that controls what your website is going to look like the color, the fonts, the styling, everything, the animations. And this file here, I said file. This option here allows you to actually write your own styles. So I'm not going to be writing any styles right now. That's in a more advanced class. But basically, this theme comes with it. Something will come with, and some themes will come with it. Some plugins will allow you to be able to modify CSS inside it. We are lucky that we just so happen to be lucky that this one has the option there. Then the home page settings. I think not all plugins come with this. Sidebars. Now remember, sidebars. The same way we add the sidebar on our dashboard, you can add your own sidebars to your website with this option. Always, you can see these ones, they're asking us to upgrade to Pro to be able to use some of these features. But you can still use this feature without actually upgrading to Pro. So basically, when you see anything like sidebar, it's like this. This menu here is basically a sidebar for this dashboard. So basically, you can add this sidebar, but these ones, they're not going to allow us to hide the sidebar. Let's see, enable sidebar. Let's see if it works. It doesn't. Anyway, that's just that's their wala. Don't worry. Since we are doing this course together, we'll probably build our own sidebars. Let's see, breadcrumbs. Anytime you see something like breadcrumbs, basically it's telling you tiny sections of the page. So this is a general settings. This one has a design section where you can design additional things. Now the page, yeah. So most themes would always have this menu here for pages. So you can see all the pages that are available. You can select layouts depending on the theme that you've installed. You can see layouts. You can set up containers. So let me quickly give you some lingos to always look out for. Whenever you see things like containers, just know that Container basically is like when, let's say you want to arrange fruits inside your fridge and you want them to be organized. Okay, you have fruits like pineapple and watermelon. You know, they are very, very wet fruits that they will just, if they keep touching other things, they just keep wetting every other thing that they come in contact with. So you want to put them somewhere. Then let's say you now have bananas and oranges and let's say plantain, and you also want to keep them inside fridge. So basically, you want to keep them separately, right? You don't want to keep your watermelon and your pineapple that you've already peeled in the same place that you are going to be keeping your banana and oranges. So basically, you put them into containers. So that's what containers are for, basically. And I don't want to go into too much details right now, but if you look at this page, this theme here, you notice that this upper section is like is separate from this section here. This section, then it looks like this section ends over here. Then another section starts here, and another section starts here, like this white choosers, and then this final section here. So basically, all of these things are in WordPress terms like containers. So you are putting all of these things because they go together, and even if you are going to be resizing it, they have to resize together. You can see, take note of this. It has to resize together no matter what size you give to it. So, and the way WordPress is able to track all of them is to able to put them into containers. So if you put similar items that must track together, if you have to track some different items together, you have to put them in the same container so that when you are changing the styling, it applies to all those items in the container. Let's look at another part of the page. Look at this section of the page. You can see the way it realigns itself. These three items is not that this white choosers is jumping up and this place is coming down. No, all these ones, they all stick together. And if I make it bigger again, you see them, they adjust again properly. So it's because they are all in different containers, and that's what this basically what this container is called. We are lucky that this one's the people that built this theme called it container, but basically they are all going to be containers, and you can style them. You can style each of those containers. You can say that this container is styled differently from this container here, and this container is also styled differently from this container here, and that's how I want you to look at building your page as the way you pay. How many people play Tetris? Okay, sorry, I forgot that there's no feedback. But if you play Tetris, you understand that you have to just keep putting things into place, like you're playing with Legos. So that's how you have to look at it. And it's always very easy for you to put it into place when you're able to put them into containers. And if you look at this upper parts too, the same way they are able to hide themselves and adjust themselves is because of they are containerized into that section. So they are using containers. If I'm to inspect this now, if I want to inspect the code now, you see that all of this is wrapped together inside a container, and they set a background color for this side, and then they set another background color for this side, and then they set another background color for this side. And that's how that's the style, like that's the flow you are supposed to be using to build your when you're building your website. So always have that at the back of your mind. Like you'll be following that flow that, okay, when I put this one and this one together and I resize the screen or expand the screen, okay, this one and this one should go together. So let me just put them inside a container and then let them go together. And again, it's called container here, but software developers, we know that we call them containers. It's not like that's their actual name. They're just divs that we style together. It's not actually, there's no real thing called a container. So other teams may not call it container. If you understand what I'm talking about. One more thing I need to talk about. I think I saw it. Headers. Yeah, headers builder. Yes. So now this is an header builder. Now I told you a website is divided into three parts: the head, the body, and the foot. So basically, remember, head and headers, they are not the same thing, because a lot of new beginners, like a lot of people, they confuse the two of them for each other. Head the head of the page describes everything in the page to a browser. And also, when you start working with SEOs, like SEO tools, they'll be asking you to put things in the head of the page. Remember, the head of the page is different from the body of the page. Now, inside the body of a page, there is the header, there is the main, and there is the footer. Like inside the body. I don't know if I can draw. Let me see Escali draw. Delete this, or let me just scroll down. So let's say this is your website. It's made of HTML text. HTML. That's your website. Now your website page is divided into two parts. The head. This part is called the head. Then the second part is called the body. Now this body, let me just write it like this and put an arrow to it. It's called the body. Now this head, remember, is where this is what describes this part here, everything here, and also describes everything. When I was showing you here, you can see its head. It describes everything to your all those machines, and you can see here is the title of this website. If I change it here, it's actually going to reflect. Let me change it to, let me remove the H and close it. You can see it has reflected here. So to tell you that this part, this title here is inside the head, and that's what it is describing it to the browser and other SEO tools. Now that head is different from the header. Now let me now show you where the header comes in. Now this body here is divided into three. We have the header, the main. Basically, it's actually called, those are the actual names. And then sometimes, remember I said sometimes some pages don't have footers and some have footers. So the header, the main, and the footer. Now this header here is now the heading part of the websites that you see most times. Like when you load a website, you see a section like this that now has like a navigation link, that has an array of navigation links at the top here and things like that, and the title here. This is the head. Now this head, remember, is inside the body, and because it is inside the body, it's going to be displayed on the website. Again, I'm emphasizing this head here is never going to show on your website. It's only for all the other tools that you need to do. That's what is going to activate the head. I mean, that's the only things that need to reach the head. So here, the header is what we are now going to be styling. If you are styling inside WordPress on this part, that's inside the theme. There's a reason I'm clarifying it, because some people will make that mistake. So here you can set the site title and the logo, and this title here is the title that is showing here. You can change the title. You can, if I remove it, it will disappear. If I increase the width or reduce the width, there's a bar. You can see it's increasing, reduce. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can add some additional things to it. Site title, you can change this. The site visibility. Now this has to do with responsiveness. This one's they're calling inside this theme, they're calling the site title visibility. But basically, it's how it's going to be when you navigate to different screen size. And then inline logo and site title, that's also something else. It's not activated yet, but basically this is not inline, this is block, and it's an image. So inline basically means that you are going to have the text, you are going to write out the text yourself, because remember, this is not a text, this is an image. You can see I can drag this image around. And then now the links here. Oh, the links here are also part of the head. And remember, one more thing I need to know: if you are designing your website, no matter the theme you use, there's another pattern you will notice. You will have, everybody has noticed that before. When you are viewing it on the website, all these nav links, we call them navigation links, so nav links for short. All these navigation links, when they are in a mobile view or in a tablet view, they always fold into this what we call hamburger menu. And this hamburger menu basically is like a drop down. Most times there will be this list here and a X where the nav links will be visible. This is something that is a general design pattern that all websites have. It's not that there's a rule that you must have it, but it's a nice to have, because most people would, again, most people will visit your website with a phone, and you have to make the accessibility score of your phone to be very high. I didn't even talk about that, but that will be another topic for another day. But basically, you have to make sure that people can go to anywhere in your website from anywhere in your website to make it easy for them to navigate. It's like you are navigating, you are shopping on Jumia, and you've clicked on the item you want to buy, and after clicking on the item you want to buy, you now want to go back to shopping, and there's no way to actually go back to shopping. A good design pattern for your website is that to let people avoid using this back button here, because most times people just come here, okay, I've gotten what I want, now let me just press this back and go back. No, that's a bad design pattern. Normally, when I was going back to the previous menus, you notice that I'm always using this button here, and I chose not to use this button here. It's because when you are designing your website, you need to have your users in mind. When you want to, where the places you want to position your button to make sure that it's easy for them to move from one place to another. So that's where these navigation links come in. Like, you can be on any page and have this hamburger appear anywhere, despite the screen size. Not just, I'm just using this hamburger menu now as the case study for this, but there are other things you probably want to do in your website that you want your users to be able to go from that point to another point with ease without actually using this browser navigation here, because there's a reason you want them to avoid using this browser navigation, and it's because of something we call state management. It's going to be difficult for your website to track your users' history if they keep using this button over here to go back. But if they use the button over here to go back, it's very easy for you to listen and to understand how your users are navigating through your website. So it's always good to keep your users in your website. When you talk about marketing, when you are in the marketing phase of your website build and you're dealing with a marketer, they will explain. I mean, there's probably going to be somebody from the marketing team to explain things for you, to you about why you want to monitor user activity on your website. They will explain to you why this is actually very, very important, so that you know where your users are clicking on and how long they are spending on a page. But if you use this button here, you're going to destroy the entire navigation, and it will be difficult to track. So I think that's all for this theme. I don't know if anybody has any question. I didn't save anything because I don't want to change anything, because I'm a substitute tutor for today. So does anybody have any question? Or is there something somebody doesn't understand?
Okay, does anybody have any question? Thank you very much, Samuel. So if anybody have any question, you can unmute your mic or raise your hand up so that you can be called upon. If you have any question, you need something to be clarified to you, or you have something that you want him to talk on, you can always raise your hand and get your questions answered. Okay, just want to wait for a few seconds. If there's no questions, then we can just proceed. Okay, so it seems that there is no question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that will be all for today then.
Okay, thank you very much, Samuel. This has been a very, very comprehensive class, and really appreciate you taking the time out to, train us and teach us how to build a website on WordPress. So the next part of this session is just to, show you, because for you to actually get your site. Yeah, Samuel, you can stop sharing your screen now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, So for you to, for you to actually get your site up on WordPress, and for you to get, for example, you saw https and www.academiainstitute.com. So it means that you need to purchase a domain, and also you need a hosting, right, to ensure that your site is up, and your WordPress will now be installed on your hosting. Like Israel, Samuel said that you can do that on your local library, but for those who don't understand how to code and all of those things, so it might be a little bit complicated for you to do. So I'm just going to show you some things today, and also someone mentioned some plugins, a few plugins. I already shared a few plugins in the community, so you can always check that out in the WhatsApp group, so that you can use that to practice. But for me, there are certain plugins, like someone said, some people who have personal preference. For me, I think a lot of people as well, they don't like using WordPress editor to design or edit some things on their WordPress, on their website, right? Some people like to use, personally, I have a preference for Elementor. So because it makes it easier, it's just, drag and drop, makes it easy. You can just drag something and drop it here, and then you just design and just, edit it. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how that works, but let me go into you getting a domain for yourself. So I like to, there are different platforms that you can use to purchase a domain. For example, a custom domain for your brand, right? So instead of you having your web, because there's WordPress.com that actually allows you to, build your site for free, right? But that means that there was a time where everybody used to use that, right? But that means that your site would not have a unique name, to have WordPress.com on its own. But for you to have your site to have a unique name, for example, you want to do faithizera.com, or you want to do williams.com, or you want to do samuelfome.com, or probably for your business. All you just need to do this. There are different other platforms that you can use, but I personally have a personal preference for Namecheap. So for both hosting and domain name. So for example, if you want to purchase a domain, just go to www.namecheap.com, and then you type in the domain that you have in mind. You have to have something in mind, right? You can't just come to Namecheap without a particular idea on what you want to do. So yeah, for example, if your idea of if your name is, let's say, XYZ, xyzebra.com, when you just click on search, and to let you know if those names are available or not, and to let you know it's not free though, so you would have to pay for it. So this one is not free. WordPress allows you to do all of this for free, but for you to have a custom domain, you need to pay for it. Pardon, my network is a bit slow, so let me just refresh it to come back up. So you need to have a custom domain for your brand. Pardon, network is a bit slow. Okay, let me stop sharing and share again. Let's see if my network will come back up. Okay. Okay, so now let me I type something else called easy.com. So now it's telling me that easy.com is owned by someone else, so I can't use easy.com, but that means someone else has bought easy.com, that I can't use it. So it was registered in 2000, right? So but in case the person, you can make an offer, but it's always expensive to make an offer, right? So it's always best that you find something that you can easily get. So, and sometimes you just have to look for a unique name for your brand. So, and then they'll give you other options. If the one that you're looking at is not available, they'll give you other option for easy.org. This is very expensive. So and then there is easy.bot. This is also expensive, and there is easy.net. So now, and there is easy.xyz, which is $0.99 per year, but each subsequent year it will be $12.98 dollars per year. So, and there are some domains that can even be as cheaper as $2, as $6, as $10, and all. So this is how you can look at let me look at another domain, see which one will be available. So this is also a unique domain. That is why you're seeing it's coming up. So you can see that is how you can purchase a domain. But don't be scared of all this, because sometimes these unique names that don't have, sometimes they come on very, very expensive. So you can see this is $12, right? So, and this is $7. So, and this is 79, and this is 4,000 plus dollars. So, but definitely, I'm sure that when you're looking for your brand name to not be up to this amount, these are just, that is why it's like that. You'd most likely be around $7, $12, or $10, and then you can purchase your domain name. So this is how you can purchase a domain name, and you can just add to cart, and then that's it. And then same applies to hosting and all of those things. So when you purchase a domain, for example, now let me go to a domain that I already have. So it's pretty much simple to actually buy a domain. My network is really slow. I don't know why. Probably it's because I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so now you can see that, oh, there are domains here that already exist on my dashboard. So that is basically letting you know that I have already purchased this domain, right? So, and there are also opportunities for you to also add a hosting, and it's similar process of you purchasing a domain. It's just similar process that you can do that as well. So, and then to purchase the hosting too, it's always advisable that you use this shared hosting, because it's much more affordable and cheaper for you to do. For example, if you want to use a WordPress, you need that WordPress, you need a hosting so that it makes so that your data can sit properly on a server or something. So it is very, very important that you um, um, buy a hosting. So this is $1 per 98, not $1 per month. So, and then you can buy for 1 year so that you don't miss out on it. So that is basically how to do. So it's just same process, right? And now you can do that. And then there is one particular aspect of it that I would really like you to see as well. When it comes to, like I was talking about the WordPress, when someone was showing you the WordPress, it showed you a WordPress that basically had no information and is basically new. And that means that, oh, there are still work that needs to go on that particular WordPress dashboard. But this particular WordPress now, it has been worked on. There is a site that is live. Let me go to the site so that I can show you how the site looks like. You would not even know that it was built with WordPress. This site was built on WordPress, and all of these things, everything you see here was built on WordPress. So, and it's a very, very, you can also do that. You can build something beautiful and magical for your brand as well, because there are a lot of things that you can use without having to, understand how to code at all. And that is why I personally love Elementor. So on this, if you check if you remember what Samuel showed you, there are a lot of tools that were not here. For example, we didn't have the one for Elementor, we didn't have Elementor, and we didn't have used SEO, and we didn't have this Loginizer security and limited elements and all. So these are plugins that I had to add, just like what Samuel mentioned to you. You come to the plugins area, and then you look at plugins that you need to build your site. I personally, for any beginner, I would always advise you to use Elementor, because it makes your life easy. Honest, trust me, it makes your life easy. If you use it, you understand what I mean. I'm going to show you what I mean. It's just simple. Come to your plugins, click on add plugins, and come here and then type in the name of the plugins that you want to install, and then you'd find them on your plugins dashboard. And then Yoast SEO is a very it's an SEO tool that you can use to ensure that your site is user friendly and SEO friendly, and the Google can understand what your platform is all about and all. And there is one for analytics. I already put it on the site, on the group, so you can also check it. I also like a monster site. It basically helps you. You can easily connect. I always forget how to spell it properly. The Monster Insight. So these plugins basically allows you to connect Google. So this Monster Insight allows you to use Google Analytics and all. But I have a preference for SiteKit, Google SiteKit, which is what I have here. Google SiteKit allows you to integrate your Google Analytics, your Google Tags, your Search Console, all at once from one dashboard. So, and to give you insight into every single thing that is happening, what is really happening, the traffic, what content is ranking, your speed. You can also monetize your site traffic, for example, if you're a blogger. I know. So that is basically, I like Google Sites because it has every single thing from Google Analytics to Google Search Console and every single thing that you need. So that is these are basically the basic tools that you would need as a beginner to build a good site. So now let me take you to Elementor, right? So now for the pages, so we have a lot of pages. So for every single thing that you're seeing on the StratPower website, like those navigations and all of them. So a website is basically a collection of, like a website is basically a collection of different pages, right? Combined together to allow you have seamless, people can easily access those multiple pages from one single URL. So these are all pages, the about us, the service, the contact us blog, every single thing are all pages combined together. So that is basic, and that is why WordPress is also calling it pages for you. That's why I say you can add new pages, right? You can add new page and about us blog, contact, home services. And I like to edit with Elementor. I'm going to show you how Elementor makes it look like. So I'm going to try to edit something so that you can see how that looks like in Elementor. Now you can drag and drop. So I'm not going to save anything so that it doesn't tamper with what is currently existing on the page. So you can see all of these pages, all of these things here. Now you can see how what Samuel was showing to you looks a bit too different and difficult and all of those things. So after you've selected the theme that you want, you've selected a particular theme, and then you've gone through all of those settings and you're identifying what menus you want to use, all you just need to come to do is to come to Elementor to customize your page to make it very simple. Like now, this is what we have. We have images. I can just drag and drop this image, and then I can just upload a particular image that I want to use as well. So it makes it easy for you to be able to edit things and do whatever you want to do, like the header, the space. You can add space, you can add Google Maps, you can add share buttons, you can have posts. This post is basically for the blog section. Let me go to the blog section so that you can see what that post looks like. So all of these posts is basically coming from your WP dashboard, where you can type in, write your posts and all of those things. So, and then you can add a portfolio of items, you can add forms, you can add logins button in case people want there. You can add animated text, like this innovative African company is an animated text, right? So you can add a price list, a price table, you can add different call to action buttons, you can add carousels, you can add testimonial carousel. So these are basically different types of tools that you can use. How Elementor makes customizing your page easy. You can add anything. Basically, they provided all of those designs, all of those templates, and how it should look like for you, right? All you just need to select what you want, drag and drop it into the particular section you want to have it in. This is even called calendar and charts and carousels and content switcher and different things. Although these are pro tools, right? From here down is pro tools. But for a beginner, you can always use, I was using only these platforms, right? Only these content for building a page before I started using a pro tool, right? Because sometimes those pro tool might need you to have be able to understand it clearly and customize it, right? So, but you can, even if you don't have a pro tool, you can use this free version of Elementor, which is what to provide to you. You can add icons, you can add Google Maps, you can add divider, you can add YouTube videos, to embed YouTube videos on your page. You can add images, you can add headings. These are headings. And you can add text editor. This is text editor. And you can add buttons, call to action buttons, where people would click and then visit your page. This is a call to action button. And then when you click on it, to allow you to customize it as well. And then you can add spaces. And that is basically, and then when you're done, just click on update. And automatically your site would go live. So when you're done, just click on publish rather. Right now it's saying update because the site is already live. But if the site is not live, it will show, you would see something like publish. That means you have to publish the page. But if you do not want to publish it, just save as draft. You can keep saving as draft until you are done with the website. You don't have to keep publishing, because they probably don't want people to see the work in progress, because you might be making some errors. I don't want people to start seeing all the errors that you're making. So you can keep saving as draft until you are done. And then when you are done, you can now click on publish and everybody can now see your site. And then Sam already mentioned that you can also, see how it looks. Same way, you can also do this and see how it looks on different devices and all of those things. So it's basically the simplest tool that I use for Elementor for designing a WordPress page. And I think it will be helpful because I'm not a developer, I don't code. So for me to be able to do something like this with WordPress, it means that you all should be able to do it as well. So these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to share something valuable to you all as well, on how to actually build something with Elementor and build a beautiful site for your brand. So we've come to the end of today's session. So I don't know if anyone have any comments or questions or needs clarifications on anything, so that we can, call it a wrap. But like we said, so if you're looking to learn further and learn full stack development, how to build a website, or how to, learn product management, you want to learn project management, you want to learn data analytics, you want to learn cybersecurity, you want to learn business analytics or project management, we have all of those courses readily available for you, and with expert mentors. For example, if you want with WordPress, you can create a custom theme, right? You can create a custom theme without having to use the theme that WordPress is providing to you. For example, maybe you want to build a particular dashboard and WordPress is not giving you that flexibility to customize it the way you want it to be. You can always, if you have a strong knowledge in HTML and CSS and JavaScript, you are able to customize and build themes for even WordPress. Most of those themes that you saw, see that someone built it for WordPress, right? And they make their money off of those themes, right? So with all of those skills, you're able to also build that. So we've come to the end of today's class, and then we'll be looking forward to getting your feedbacks from everybody. Any question before we call it a wrap? Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining today's session. We will be having a graphics design session next week, Sunday. We look forward to seeing you all there as well. If you're interested in learning how to design simple graphics for your brand, or as if you're a UI UX designer and you want to understand what it means to create a simple design, you want to understand how to use Photoshop to design flyers and banners for a mobile app, you can register to attend that class as well. Till we meet again next time, please enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.